Hi, friends. You are watching Unwritten Rules of the Road. I am Tosh, and I am here with our incredible friend, Eli Lev. Eli, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's get into the unwritten rules of the road. I'm stoked to talk about this with you.
Well, okay, so let's start here. Just right off the cuff, if someone were to ask you five top unwritten rules of the road, what would you say?
Wow, okay. I say one, stay healthy. Two, stay in connection. Three, sleep as much as possible. Four is be aware of your surroundings. And five would be have fun.
I love it.
I like it
Those
because
are solid.
yeah, I like it because like I didn't think about that and like write them down before, but actually now I am gonna write those down because those are
Yes.
really good, and I need my own notes sometimes.
I
Yeah,
feel you. Yes. Yes. I mean, out of curiosity, are these things that you've just kind of learned along the way?
yeah. I think it's been 5 years, 6 years now touring nonstop,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and just going from survival to thrival, if there is such a
Yes.
thing on the road. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, what would you say? What would your top five unwritten rules of the road be? Let's compare notes. Imagine I didn't say anything. What would be your top five?
Actually, pretty similar. Okay. Number one is know your why. Um,
Ooh, gotta get the Y in there. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like, as you know, like touring is not for the faint of heart. It's very, very challenging in beautiful ways, but it is challenging. And so knowing your why, I feel like propels everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So number one is knowing your why. Two, find your rituals, like the things that help ground you and keep you healthy, like whatever they are. Because everyone's is different. And in our band, like everyone has their different ways of being. Yes. Three, headphones in a vehicle are like
Well, I tour solo, so I don't know that one. That's good.
yes, yes. For us, like because there's seven of us in a van. Yes, headphones are vital, and everyone's very happy, and we're all introverts, so it works super well to just be in our own little space.
Shoot.
Yep. And also like finding ways that keep you healthy. I guess that
Yeah.
kind of is similar to you, and also finding your joy, having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the joy in it is absolutely vital.
I like the Y though, because without the Y, it's like you're not gonna get very far.
Yeah.
None of the other stuff is gonna even matter if you don't have a really strong purpose as like, yes, every night, every day, every time I open my mouth or open my guitar case, there is a message that I am sharing with the world. You know what I mean? And that's why everything else has to happen, is because like that's so strong. So I really like that. That's really good.
So, out of curiosity, if you don't mind sharing, has your why changed from when you started to where you are in the present?
Oh, definitely. Oh my goodness. So I started 8 years ago, actually. I just celebrated my 8 year anniversary for Eli Lev Music LLC. Yep. And absolutely, there's different seasons in this music career thing. And like I've been doing 8 years, and you ask somebody in the industry, and they'll be like, "Oh, wow, you're a rookie." Like wait till you get to year 10 or 15 or 20. It's like it keeps changing. So I think at the beginning, I was just like, I wonder if people will like my music.
Mm, yeah.
I wonder if this is even like a thing, like if there's even going to be a response from the universe.
Yeah.
And it was also in the beginning, like I had to play catch up. So I've been a teacher my whole life, so I just got into music, in my mid 30s. So performing was a way to practice. It was paid practice. So every show, whether it was like 4 hour show or 2 hour show, didn't matter. It's like I just needed a guitar in my hands. I needed to be singing. I needed to figure out this whole like thing. So I think it started with just getting reps, figuring out if people like the music. And then I think it's changed to, oh, wow, there's a community around this. There's like a movement here. There is a purpose, a why that's being built. And then now it's like, I don't know, it's almost I don't know what else I would do, because it's like it's so connected to the why. It's like this is my way of giving. It's my way of healing. It's my way of processing. And I need it just as much as my audience needs it now. So it's like it's become part of the way I interact with the world. Kind of wild.
That's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Yeah. How about you? What year is it now? Like, how many years have you been like touring consistently, would you say?
Um, Honestly, like it's hard to say because I've done stuff in the classical realm. So in the Alice realm, I'll just focus on
The
that.
Alice realm. Let's see. Yeah, the Alice
In
realm.
the
Yeah.
Alice realm, I think we started touring heavily in 2016. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So a little parallel to you in that regard.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you've been touring twice as long as me. So tell me, give me what's coming next. I want to know like what's down the corner. So in year like 5 or year 6, like what happens with touring? What stage are you in now with your?
So it's interesting because okay, it's a tangent, but it relates.
Okay.
One of the things that just blew my mind. I mean, many things about you blow my mind, but I was like, oh my gosh, you average 250 shows a year. That's incredible, and
Too much.
that's incredible.
Too much.
And it's different, and I think for a band, because you're having to coordinate a lot of different moving parts and people's schedules and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it's like we're at a point we're about to release our album, and yes, yes. Thank you to you as well. We're gonna
We'll
talk
talk
about
about
that.
that. We'll talk about
Yes,
that. Keep
yes,
going. Keep
yes.
going. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Um, but yeah, like I feel like we found kind of a flow and what works for us. And also like when you're like touring with other people, like really being sensitive to like what works for other people in the van, right? So
Yeah, got
yeah,
it.
you're navigating like and it's not a bad thing. I mean, we get along really, really well, and we travel really well together. But just kind of getting a feel where you're like, "Oh, he needs his coffee.
Yeah,
Let's
seven
get on
people.
that."
Oh my gosh, seven
Yeah.
people in a vehicle. That is a
Yes.
whole nother
It's
thing.
yeah. But also I feel like we're also learning how to be a little bit more strategic.
Mhm.
So like in the beginning, like when we first started touring, it was just like, and we still have this like same love, but it was just like
Yeah.
any show, we're like,
Right.
yes, let's do it.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so I think there's a little bit more strategy where we're like, okay, if we have a limited amount of time and limited resources, like what are the places that make sense for us to get from point A to point B?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm exactly at that point too. Instead of it's like, oh, someone will have me on a Tuesday here and a Wednesday here. I'll drive 6 hours between those shows. Now it's like, I'll take Tuesday off. You know what I mean? For this big Thursday show that's coming up. So yeah, that's a really good point. There's a there's a stop along the way where it's like you got to really be efficient, strategize and really kind of pick your spots. So I like that. Tosh, why don't we let people know how we know each other?
Oh, it's
And then let's get into our music. But first, like, let's, like we connected through Modern Musician first. Is that
hmm
right?
Yep. Yep.
And I think the first time we met each other was in Hawaii.
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
And you
hmm
and Scott came out, and we had a pretty magical time
Yeah.
out there. So that's the first time I got to connect with y'all, and that was I'd heard about y'all through the grapevine and the internet and social media and all that stuff, but we finally got a chance to connect and had some pretty awesome times in Hawaii.
Yeah, I think like one of the things that immediately struck me about you is that you had this like very beautiful kind of Zen approach. And it was very heart-centered and like you were leading like guided meditations and I'm all
Yeah,
about this. It was amazing to start my day off with like these guided meditations that you were leading. And Another thing that really blew me away was also just the fact that you were like, yeah, I'm this independent artist and I'm doing what I love. And I think that's so inspiring and something that, more musicians absolutely should know that it's possible. Because, we've been DIY ourselves like this entire time. We've never had a label.
Wow.
And it's one of those things when we're approached by other people, like, they ask me, like, how do you tour? I mean, it's honestly a big motivation behind Unwritten Rules of the Road. It's like sort of like sharing the knowledge, sharing the wealth with all the people that I know that make it possible.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you're such an inspiration in that way. I learned so much from you, with just like going like, hey guys, I'm a solo artist and I can do this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's so kind. Thank you. And I appreciate that. And I remember we had these gratitude moments at the end, and we talked about what we appreciate from each person in the circle. And I still have what you and Scott said like saved in my morning vision
Hmm.
kind of like thing that I do. So
Yeah.
you two are actually like part of my morning ritual, which is pretty awesome. And I remember being like struck by, just the heart that you all brought to it as well. I think it's that heart and that kindness and that passion that really stir up a fan base, really make the music resonate, and really kind of make the brand something that people can like really just kind of zoom in on. So yeah, the Owls brand is so strong. It's visual, it's video, it's connection, it's like thoughtful, philosophical exploration into the human psyche. It's like it's awesome stuff. So I recognize that about y'all right away as well.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's funny because the whole thing was conceived on a camping trip in Joshua Tree in the desert. Yeah, and it's like you just never know where things will go, but the intention was really to find kindred spirits and like-minded people and other people to create with and connect with, and here we are. So, yeah, I
Amazing.
love that the journey can take you into amazing places and just want to actually take a quick moment to give a shout out to our amazing community that's online with us right now. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to hang out. Yes, many, many, many loves. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, when you first start something, I don't know, like we were talking about like the Eli Lev project. Out of curiosity, did you have any projects before, or was this like your first musical project?
Yeah, first musical project. I was a teacher my whole life. I taught in Indiana, Arizona on the Navajo Nation. I taught in Australia, Israel, Andorra in Europe, and I came back and got my master's degree in education, and I just started doing music instead.
That's amazing.
So
That's
Eli
really
Lev was,
amazing.
yeah, Eli Lev was the first project, and I actually, well, hold on now. So I was living in
Okay.
Tel Aviv, and I had this like kind of comedic cowboy songwriter project, and it was called Warblow Jenkins. Because no one else would have that name. So if somebody searched for it, they would find it. I don't think if anything exists anymore about Warblow Jenkins, but I sang silly songs about bees on a tree and roller skates and all sorts of weird stuff. So I was like the country parlor guitar guy with Warblow Jenkins. But this was like the first kind of like, kind of serious but silly music project that I had.
Yeah. I mean, so you played guitar before, you wrote songs before, but what made you decide that like you're like, I just want to do the Eli Love like journey?
Well, I came back from a master's degree and I was around my hometown, Silver Spring, Maryland. And it's interesting because like it's hard to kind of put this as like what happened first. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
First, there
Yeah.
was an intention. A
Yeah.
year before I started playing songs in Maryland, I had a solo camping trip, just like Joshua Tree, but this time it was in Mexico, a place called Sayulita. And
Yeah.
just north of Sayulita is a beach called Playa Malpaso. So it's a bad pass beach. And no one's there. It's just like ATVs go there sometimes. So I found this on Google Maps from Indiana. I was like, I'm going there for 2 weeks. So I brought my travel guitar and I sang my songs to the sand and the ocean and the trees, and they started smiling and clapping and whispering back. And I heard this voice, and the voice said, like, if this makes you happy, is this something that you want to do? And I said, you know what? I've had an amazing life. Nothing really tragic has happened to me. Thank you. And actually, my life and my capabilities are actually in your hands, whoever you is. So I'm releasing actually control. And only by releasing control did the gears of the universe kind of change and move in a way that brought me to music full time. So the intention happened first, then the show started happening, and then the community started building, and then the momentum has been going ever since.
And it became larger than like where it all began,
Yeah,
larger than
two
you.
camping
Yeah.
trips. Look at us. Okay,
Yes.
that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like pl unplugging and really being in nature and connecting in that way for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what music does too. I think that by putting ourselves in those spaces, we realize how important those spaces and that mindset really is. So I think that's why music was so attractive too, because it's like, hey, this is a way to stay connected to oneself and the source and others, and have fun doing it.
Yeah. Does it become challenging to really stay connected to that? Like let's say you're in the thick of a tour and maybe you have a lot of back-to-back drives and you're tired, and you're going from one city to the other. Like how do you recharge your batteries?
Yeah, that's a good question. Man, touring is just can be brutal sometimes, whether it's like a 12-hour drive through the night or like getting over the Canadian Rockies for the third time, going back and forth between Calgary and Vancouver. Or if it's like, Austria in February and you have a rental car and nowhere else to stay and you're trying to sleep in the back seat of like freezing weather. And it's those moments where you're just like, wow, I don't know I don't know if I really signed up for this. you know but those are the stories too. When someone asks like, how was tour, and you say everything was great, that's kind of boring. You know what I mean? That's like not It's not the adventure part. So the worst parts and the tough parts and the difficult moments, those become the best stories, and those are the stories we tell people, that are exciting, that are interesting, that we put the badge on. I played to the sound man and his dog, or you know what I mean, like, this one fan came to the show and she was sang every word but no one heard it, got the badge, moving on. Or I played to 500 people and I messed up a lyric on a song and no one realized, whatever. It's just, put on the badge on the thing and just keep on going. So
Yeah, absolutely.
what would be one of your kind of like stories on tour, like just like a disaster story? Like give me like the most disasters of all disasters that happened on tour.
Ooh, I'll have to think about that actually. It's like I feel like a lot of times when you're on tour, like you look at these things eventually with rose-colored glasses,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Disaster. Okay, if you can think of any, feel free to jump in for you, and
Okay. What would just be a
I'm ready to
moment where
say.
you were like, "Oh goodness, I'm not sure if this was like this isn't the best thing that ever happened to me on tour."
Okay, so in the fall of last year, it was literally just like a calamity after calamity. So like, and we've never had that many calamities in a row on a tour. So maybe it was just like our time in the karmic cycle for us to have like all these back-to-back things.
Yeah.
Because like, okay, so a lot of times when I put together a tour, the impetus is a festival.
Yeah.
So we were asked to play a festival that got canceled because of the hurricanes.
Oh,
Um,
oh
yeah.
no.
And so, but that was one thing. And so the very beginning of the tour, the trailer went out. Like we had to do repairs on the trailer. So that was happening like early on. And then at the latter part of the tour, we had a tire that blew out. And so we missed a show. And then we had the entire transmission that blew out in the van. And so we missed like, yeah, the last, like, and so it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, the thing about it though is that I think it brought us all together, like even more so, because everybody was in like super problem solving mode. And we're like, okay. Like this is a circumstance and it's obviously very stressful, but like I felt like everybody was like, okay, let's put our thinking caps on. And artists are creatives and, problem solvers. So
Wow. So your anchor show at a festival got canceled.
Mhm.
Then a tire blew out, transmission blew out, missing shows, just trying to get back essentially was like the mode.
And,
Was like, how do we get back? Like in one piece. Yeah. So
and you know what really, really touched me the most about that situation was how our community supported us.
mm,
Like there was a fundraiser to help, with the van and to
wow.
get us back, and people were just reaching out and like, how can
Wow.
I help? Or I'm sending you love, or like, let's help you. And that just it was just like so touching. Because like in the middle of all of this, we're just sort of like it's a place of surrender. We're
Yeah.
like, okay, here we are. We're stranded. We were stranded in Kayenta,
Kayenta,
which
Arizona? You were
yeah,
in K-Town on the Navajo
yeah,
Nation?
yeah,
Just outside
yeah.
of Monument Valley?
Yeah, which we've played before in our other project, Mankind is Obsolete. So we actually knew people there, which was
Are you
amazing.
serious?
Yeah, it has a very special place in our hearts. So,
Okay.
but I love that you know Kayenta.
I do.
Yeah,
I taught in a town called Shanto, which was about 30 miles west of Kayenta, between Kayenta and Page.
yeah, yeah.
So that's
We
where
were
I went
supposed
to
to
get
play in
my
Page.
groceries at Bashas'.
That's what small world.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Wow. So you were broken down in maybe one of the most beautiful places in the
yeah,
world, but still.
yeah.
Yeah.
Surrounded by love, but just
Wow.
not able to do anything. It was just sort of like we were just forced to stop. It was just kind of like, all right, we're just gonna pause right here. And two of our members had to be back at work, so they had to take these. I think the cab fare because it was like not all vehicles would go out. Yeah, it was like between $200 and $300 just to get them to the airport. So we lost a lot of money on this tour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
String
yeah,
of calamities. Yes, that
yeah.
sounds familiar. But you got through
Yeah.
it. Your community showed up, and you guys are
Yes.
still rocking through it.
Yeah. How about you?
Um, mm, let's go to. I have to pick one. Let's go to Texas. I don't know why, but something always happens to my vehicle in Texas. So it's either
Oh.
weather, vehicle, or health. It seems like it's one of those three
Mm,
things. It's like the
okay.
Oregon Trail, like trying to get the the wagon across to the west. It's like Eli has dysentery. Like, oh no, your wagon wheel fell off. No, this was Texas. There's a heat dome in Texas, which meant that it didn't get lower than 96 degrees at night.
Hmm.
So it never cooled off.
Yeah.
And Texas is just a wild spot. Like just things happen to me in Texas. I don't know why. So I've been to Texas twice before, and I had two car issues the twice before too. One was I got two flat tires simultaneously somehow, and the other was something else happened. But this was another time in Texas, and I had a new van. I was in this heat dome, sleeping in my vehicle, and I was just like, I can't keep sleeping in a van with at 96 degrees overnight. So
Hmm.
my community showed up. They absolutely did. Like I do these folk Fridays and live streams. And like, hey y'all, this heat dome is wild, and they just like sent me a Venmo, just like get a hotel, on me.
Mm.
Take a dinner on me. So I was like getting all these Venmos, not even asking, like whatever. Like people were just like, bro, like be okay. So that was amazing. And then I will always remember this. I was almost out of Texas. And I was like, I can't believe I got through Texas without my vehicle, without an issue in my vehicle. I was like, through Lubbock, like getting there, like almost out, going west. And I was having some issues with my battery, but my battery actually died while I was driving at night in the middle of the drive.
Oh
Like
no.
my whole vehicle just like it went do, and it kept driving for a while, but like there's no electrics. So had to pull over, thank goodness somebody was there, gave me a jump. I stayed the night, and then somehow the next morning I found this dealership that was close by, and they got me in. They replaced the part like that morning, and got me out and on my way. But it was just like heat dome, van, not working out. These shows were just like they're just a little rowdier in Texas. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
they want some of that, So like they trained me as an artist like to do that. So it was like that learning curve as well. But man, every time I get in Texas, there's some wildness that goes on. So, but I got out of got out of there. Okay.
So fun fact, I grew up in Lubbock.
Oh,
Um, yes, yes. So if you are,
okay.
and half of my family, like they're mechanics. So
Oh,
if you're ever in West Texas and you're in a pickle, please do message because I got you.
I might have stopped by their mechanics as long as I know. I stopped by two or three on the way to the dealership, and they're like, "No, you got to go to a dealership for this." I was like, "Okay," but maybe next time your family can help out. That's good to know.
Yes,
Thank you. That's
yes.
usually where things happen to me.
Yeah. West Texas is its own beast, that's for sure.
It is. Yeah, it is. Wow,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Okay, love it. Wow.
So we're getting a question from Jess. Jess is asking Alice, they know you know what snacks that what are your favorite snacks? Because we're all
Mm.
foodies here. Yes.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Favorite snacks.
Favorite snacks.
I have three addictions on tour.
Okay.
Um, One is there's this drink, and I think it's called Renewal. It's in a thin bottle. Find it at Walmart or some spaces, but it's like almond milk, and you can get it in green matcha, chocolate, or vanilla or berry, and it's like
Ooh.
healthy. I keep telling myself it's healthy, and it kind of is. It's got maca root and like all that kind of stuff. Ashwanga. It's got all the names, and I'm just this stuff is just like that's like my fuel on tour. So if you can ever find it, I think it's Renewal or something. Walmart's have it, some grocery stores have it, but it is delicious and also healthy apparently. How about
Nice.
you, Tosh? What's your go-to?
Um, I love all things pickles, as our people know. Yes. I have a pickle like fixation,
Okay.
so I have
Growing
a
up in
pickle
the
problem.
Southwest, they're into pickles out there.
Yes. Yep. Yep. In fact, I went to the farmer's market this morning and I am going to try my hand at my first batch of pickles. So we shall
Okay.
see. Yes.
Now, here's the question. Are you into hot pickles?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Anything
I
spicy.
knew it. Oh my gosh. You go down the trading post, you go to Kayenta, you go to Shanto, there's just a whole bucket of just hot pickles and just, oh man, that's wild.
Yep. So what's your number two?
My number two is I can't believe I'm admitting this. I am a sucker for Panera.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why, because I
Uh-huh.
can sit there and people can leave me alone and it's air conditioned and I just get free drinks the whole day and I get Wi-Fi. And if I want to, there's a cookie. And if I want to, there's a little soup or a little, like half sandwich. I can just like kind of nibble throughout the whole day. But and they're not everywhere. So whenever I see a Panera on tour, I'm like, all right, I gotta stop. What's your like food place that you go to usually on tour that you kind of
I
frequent?
usually I usually cook actually. So I bring a slow cooker and rice cooker. And I'm the one that does all the cooking. So
Nice.
everybody like plays different roles in the
Yeah.
band, like
Let's hear
I
'em. What are the rules?
yeah. Oh, okay. So there's like three of the guys that do the driving. Gordon, our bass player, is like the Tetris master, so he knows how to fit all the things miraculously into
Oh,
the trailer.
cool.
I don't know how he does it, and he remembers. Like he has a mind map where he's like, "Oh, this goes here." Yeah, it's amazing. Mine is laundry and cooking, so and obviously putting the tour together and tour management.
Wait,
So
not obviously. What are you talking about? Not obviously. It's like you're the booker, you're the cooker. You're the laundry maker. You're the
Yes.
wow.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. And then yeah, I mean everybody like has their little, their different things. Like Scott does all of our social media, which is
Mhm.
amazing and so vital. And yeah,
That is on
everybody, I
point,
don't
by the
know.
way. Got to give a shout out to Scott on that social media. It is
Yes.
Alice is just lighting up my feed every time. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody, I don't know, they play their different parts. And that's just for the touring. So
Oh
do
yeah,
you
you're in a
usually
band and you play instruments and you write songs
yes.
too, right?
There's all that. I mean, we all like have to wear many hats, like
Yeah.
especially as indie artists. Like you wear all the hats. So,
Yeah.
yeah, when you don't have a label, you don't have management, like you're like, okay, just you learned how to do different things. And honestly, I feel like all the things that you've ever done leads you up to that point, right? So,
Yes. Oh, that's so true. Like people are like, oh, you're not even using your master's degree. I was like, I'm using my master's degree every single day because my brain
mm,
works different since that. And I'm applying
yeah,
any skills that I had or didn't have and learning them every moment, every day. That's absolutely true. That's a good point.
yeah. Do you have to drive by yourself, or do you ever like have any buddies that come along, or is it just you that does all the driving? Wow.
Yep. Just solo tours.
Wow.
It's
So,
like,
do you have
what
like
would
a like
what would that be like if I like got a driver or something, or if like I don't know, like some kind of internship? No one would want to do that, I don't think. I don't know. You know what? I I learned how to tour before playing music. So I've been
mm,
touring, traveling, adventuring my whole life. So like I get that part. That part is actually not the difficult part for me. It's
yeah.
the routing and it's the performing and like all the other stuff like wow, traveling and adventuring. That's the tough stuff. So yeah. But I mean, and that's not how everybody does it. Like some people have duos and trios, but yeah, whatever driving needs to be done, that's done by me.
Mm, that's a lot. Do you
Yeah.
like have a preferred like average distance? Because I factor that in when I'm routing our tours, where like I'm like, okay, I know it like on average, like not to go over a certain number of hours for our drivers.
Yeah, I have a preferred thing, but once you start getting out there in the West and the Southwest, I mean, there's just so much land. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to sometimes you just might not get a show between Montana and Idaho and Washington State. You know what I mean? And that's 10, 12, 14 hours where you're driving. Canada, oh my goodness. You think there's a lot of land down here? Like up there, it's nuts. So much
Yeah.
land, a lot of
Yeah.
trees. Um, so I would like to keep my shows within 3 to 4 hours every day. I will push it to like 5 or 6 sometimes, and maybe every once in a while it'll be like 8 or 9.
Hmm. Yeah.
How about you? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, like well, our average I think is between like 5, 6 hours. Like I try to keep it like that as an average, but then there's like the long stretches where you
Yeah.
just can't avoid, like
Yeah.
you were saying, like it's gonna be like 9 to 11 hours actually
Yeah,
with
I
the
mean, you
time
can
difference.
stop. You can stop wherever you want and play, but it's
There's
not going
not
to
gonna be
be
anything
like
there.
right. Right. What I like to do with that is I'll jump in on open mics.
Hmm.
I will go to shows like singer-songwriting circles in a venue that I'd like to eventually connect at. So I do like to have like pretty much every night on tour when I'm out there, I might as well be doing something. So I do try and like, get go somewhere with guitars and microphones.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I
Mm.
think especially like being able to be so like portable and like just, acoustic is actually like pretty key as well.
Yeah, it's just so interesting. Like our experiences are very different and very similar at the same time.
Hmm.
Like the idea is very similar, but the actual experience of me driving solo in a van is totally different, and playing acoustic guitar is totally different than your 7-person, amazing production with Alice, like living as a family. And, I've wondered what that's like, doing it that way. So it might be worth a try sometime. I have buddies that do like the duo, trio, full band thing, and it's interesting. There's ups and downs
Hmm.
to that. So yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it helps too to, I think, have like a caravan. So like this upcoming tour we have, we're gonna have two bands opening for us
Oh,
for the
nice.
first three dates, and then like another artist that's opening for us. So like if you team
Nice.
up with other bands, that can actually be pretty great, and then you can share vehicles and that sort of thing.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's really cool. What is the thing that you are working on tour? Like, what is your like kind of thing that you're like trying to break through, or your next project, or like what are you like kind of working towards for your touring kind of I don't know, your touring goals?
You mean like what do I work on while I'm on tour, or just like future touring goals?
Yeah, like what's like what are you working towards with your tours? Like what do you like, what do you feel is the I don't know, where are you at, and like where you're trying to like get to with the tours?
Well, first and foremost, like to be able to tour more internationally.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have people that have been asking us, and it's a whole different level of logistics.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, I would love to hear about your experiences with your
Mhm.
international tours.
What countries were you thinking about doing that? Like, what are your top few countries do you think that you and your band would?
Um, So we've been asked for different places in Europe, so like Germany, the UK, as well as Mexico, South America,
Wow.
and then Asia as well, like different parts of
Wow.
Asia. So yeah,
Yeah. I would say probably like a good first start would be Germany or the UK. Um, because you can just use each of those countries and just stay there, find like one or two promoters there that can help you out a little bit. That's what I did for the second half of my European and UK tour. The first month was Europe, like Spain, Portugal, Andorra, Switzerland, France, like a different country every few days. And the last month was the UK, which was cool because I could just like really get into the culture, really understand how to drive manual on the other side of the road, really kind of experience a culture in a country. So, that first month was tough for me because it was like, okay, let me learn how to say hello, goodbye, and thank you in Portuguese. And then let me do that. Oh, I already know Spanish. Cool. But then let me do that in French. Let me do that in Polish. Let me do that in German. Let me do that in Czech. It's like, it's tough to get a handle, on things when you're moving that fast. So I would recommend, like, when I was in the UK for a month, it was awesome because I was learning about the towns and the countries, and had a really good time with town halls, actually. That was like the sweet spot in UK. So yeah, I would say definitely go for it, with the caveat that, like, I mean, you're gonna lose so much money, but the branding and the experience and what it does for the band kind of makes up for that. And I'd say kind of. I mean, flights, airfares, rental cars, equipment, like
Visas,
hotels,
yes. Oh yeah,
visas,
yeah,
food, like,
yeah,
it's a whole different beast, like you're
yeah.
saying.
Absolutely, yeah,
Wow. But that's really exciting because what it
yeah.
does is it, like, if you can go to Germany and play, and a lot of these venues in the US see that, they're like, oh, they played in Germany. So yeah, let's give them a chance here in St. Louis, stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's and just getting to experience like the different cultures and connecting to all the different people, that's just sounds like amazing. So a dream.
yeah.
Yeah, how about you? Oh,
Well,
y
before we get to that, if am I
yes.
true in that you all are having a crowdfunding campaign right now,
Hmm.
and one of your goals is an international tour?
It
So that's
is.
super smart. That is exactly the way to do it, because that's the only way that it can work, is by your community or people kind of coming together and being like, we are going to front load. We're going to support this tour before you even go. Then that makes total sense because you've got people behind you, you've got the resources. So it's a win-win. But that's super smart. And congratulations, by the way. Y'all are rocking it.
Thank you. Really appreciate that, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, we have people on the stream right now that have supported it and
Woo!
just yeah,
Oh, Alice.
so
As
grateful.
above, so below. I'm like,
Yes. Yeah, no, it's just it's mind-blowing, honestly. Really mind-blowing. Yeah.
yeah, that's the best way
Yeah.
to do it. So you're definitely onto something there.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see where it takes us, like every single like time that I take a look at the Kickstarter or we get a message or whatever, I'm just like I'm so touched. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like a spiritual experience. It's really like you've got to just be totally humble. Essentially, you are a monk, a nun with a begging bowl going
Hmm.
around and being like, I have no ego. I need help. And that is a way to elevate everybody because it's a chance for folks to give. It's a chance for folks to be kind and be compassionate. And it's also a way for us as musicians to realize, like we aren't independent musicians. We are maybe more dependent musicians than folks who have the record label because we're dependent on our fans. We're dependent on
Yeah.
our communities.
Yeah.
So it's a really special process. And I'm excited for y'all going through it. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My family went to Austria and it was an incredible trip, but I got to visit the home of where Mozart like and his family lived, and we actually got to see like the luggage that they used, and they talked about how much they had to tour and travel, and like even classical musicians back in the day had to depend on patrons. So like Kickstarter to me is like the modern patron program where it's like patrons that want to support the arts and support the artists that they want to see, put their music and art out there. It makes it possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Like dukes, royalty. I mean, the Vatican. The Vatican was the patron to, Michelangelo. Like that's how these works of arts happened. It's pretty amazing to think about that. And then yeah, now it's
Yeah.
just like the micro model. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Where it's like it kind of I think brings it down to earth because it's not just like the super wealthy, like you were saying, like the super wealthy patrons that there's just a few small amount of them that are supporting the artists. It's like it kind of
Yeah.
brings it down to the ground where everybody can support in any way that they can, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And I mean, y'all have toured enough to know that I would say like 90% of the world is like good people. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Maybe even like 95%, honestly. And if there's a situation where someone can be a good person, that's even higher. Um, you start realizing like, oh, if anybody sees somebody in need or in help, like usually someone's going to step up and help out. So that's also kind of nice to know that that's both online and, on the tour route too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I feel like it's one of the things I love about touring is that you really connect with people through music and people that love that live music experience. And you see like how, I don't know, I feel like music, like you were saying, sharing earlier, is so healing.
Mhm.
And all of us come to music in some form or fashion, whether, it's different styles or whether we're playing or whether we're experiencing and listening to it. But in some way, I feel like music like really connects us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Is it worth it? Is it worth it with the canceled festivals and the cars breaking down and the long miles and the, hundreds of hours on social media or like, connecting with the fans? Like, is it worth it for you?
always, always. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
100%. Never a doubt. Like, absolutely never a doubt.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yes. So, actually, you were getting a question about what kind of music. I believe the phrase was what kind of fusion that you compose. Um, Fusion music. Yeah. What kind of styles do you like to bring together into your music?
Yeah, I call my genre indie folk poptimism.
Yes.
Would you say that's
I
about
love
right?
it. I love it. Absolutely.
So you've got the indie. It's like a little weird and a little geeky. It's like not that cool. And you've got the pop. There are some melodies in there that are like fun and like some hooks. And then poptimism is, there's optimism there. There's levity, there's levitation, there's kindness, there's an uplifting nature to the music as well. My music is lyric forward. So I spend a lot of time on what the lyrics are saying. And there's a message in every song as well. So the songs are like stories first and then songs after the stories. So that's how I would describe my music to a new listener.
That's amazing. From the music that I've heard of yours, it's like I can really tell that there's a lot of love that's put into the lyrics, which I always listen to the lyrics first myself. So,
That's interesting.
yeah.
Not everybody does. And that's
Hmm.
that's all right because I got the
Yeah.
melodies in the back to,
Hmm.
make it pop. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting how different people listen to music in different ways. But yeah, I've always really enjoyed the lyrics as well. So I'm lyric
Yeah,
forward.
for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, like with your background, I guess, like in teaching and the language and everything like that, I'm sure that's really like helped guide you.
It has, yeah. I remember writing, poems very young. I wrote songs when I was in middle school. I remember having, journals where I would just like write silly stuff down. So I've been like writing songs since maybe sixth grade. Yeah, fifth grade, sixth grade.
Yeah.
Poems,
Yeah.
songs, short stories, newspaper, yearbook, essays. So yeah, I love language and I love what it can convey. And now I'm just using that in music. So yeah. And do you sing and songwrite and do melodies? Like what's like what's your approach to songwriting?
It really depends on the song. So, like, as a band, we'll come together and jam. So, like
Okay.
me, Scott, Gordon, and Steve, like foundationally, will come together and
Okay.
like somebody might have like some kind of a riff, or whatever to play
Okay.
around with. And so we'll just kind of like play around with it, and it's pretty great because like we'll like collaborate on like, oh, I hear this melody or this harmony or this
Nice.
arrangement, and then it just kind of fluidly, organically comes together.
Nice.
So yeah,
Okay. Cool. Do
yeah.
you ever bring like lyrical? Like, do you ever start writing from the title?
Yeah, like for sure. Like sometimes like the whole thing gets written all at once for me. Like I
Yeah.
write on the piano.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, sometimes guitar, but mostly I write on the piano, but like sometimes the entire thing just like pours out and it's just done. It's like, okay, this is
Wow.
this is the whole thing. And
Here it is.
sometimes it's just, like it's like it is a theme or it's a concept. And then I find, I don't know about you, but like sometimes I don't try, like to stay too attached to a concept. So like that's how it might start off, and then it'll
Yeah.
surprise you like on the way where you're like, "Oh, I didn't realize the song was about this."
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, a lot of my songwriting now is less about like doing and more about like listening. Like, okay,
Hmm.
what is this song like trying to share? Like, what's actually here? Instead of being like, no, this song's gonna be like this. So yeah, that's really cool. It's like, what is the song like revealing? And then if it's a different concept that started from that concept, so be it. But yeah, it's kind of special.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of your songwriting, I know you have an album coming up, Past Lives. Yeah, do you have anything that you could share? Because I love the inspiration that I was reading behind your concept of the album.
Yeah, thanks for asking. Past Lives is the second installation of my Three Worlds project. The first EP was called Present Journey. Now I'm on Past Lives. The next year will be Future Myths. So there's gonna be kind of like this
Mm.
overarching story. I know you like the story, so I just want to like have the big picture first. But Past Lives is a deep dive into exploring my ancestry, my family roots, and it actually uses the real voices of my ancestors on the music. So we found these cassette tapes of these interviews with my bubby Sarah, my uncle Ben, Aunt Evelyn. My mom is from the South. My dad has Jewish heritage. He's from Chicago. So I wanted to honor both of those sides of the family. And yeah, like hearing my buddy Sarah like speak about her time coming over from Ellis Island hearing Uncle Ben describing the cotton mills in South Carolina, and then it's woven through five original songs. So that's past lives. So three songs are actually out right now. A song called "My Wish Was You" came out last week, and two more songs are coming.
That's exciting. Are the songs already finished?
They are. So
Okay.
I am also launching a crowdfunding campaign on 2 days, and Tuesday, which is wow. This will be my
Awesome.
fourth campaign, and they've been all successful and all amazing and really incredible experiences. So I do my crowdfunding campaigns a little bit differently. We were talking about this before the live stream, but what I do is essentially like I write the songs, I record the songs, I produce the songs, I mix the songs, master them, get everything ready. And then the crowdfunding campaign is a way for me to be like, how much do people want to get this music out into the world? How many people want to participate with this project? And I let it go from there. So if it's successful, amazing. I can get, folk radio promo, I can do a tour, I can make merch, and if it's doubly as successful, there are stretch goals, just like y'all, domestic touring, international touring, podcast, all that kind of stuff. So it's really like leaving it to the universe, exactly like you're doing. It's like, okay, how amazing do we want to make this? How big do we want to get this going? So yeah, that's starting Tuesday. I'm looking forward to it. Here we go.
That's so exciting. That's so exciting. Yes. Well, going back to the question of envisioning like the like future goals for like touring or bigger arching vision, like anything that comes to mind for you?
Yeah, my overarching vision is to tour less, Tosh. To not tour as much. So I love touring, and it's like a really vital part of being a musician is like, sharing music with people in a live space. It's magical. But I don't think it has to be like the thing that I do like all the
Hmm.
time.
Right.
But I've done it, so I know what it's like. So I don't feel like I'm missing out, or I'm like, oh, what if I did that? Um, because I toured full time 2-3 years, and it was amazing, great stuff. But it's like I don't need to play 250 shows a year. I can play 100, 150, and that'll still be just fine. So those are my those are my goals for the future is to tour less, enjoy my family and friends and my partner, and just in my own time, and then feel recharged. And so when I am on tour, it's like I can go all in, and I'm not kind of worn out. So those are my goals.
Hmm. I mean, it's very obvious that you work very, very hard. And yeah, like I mean, you were asking me like, is it worth it? And then obviously agreeing that it absolutely is. But I mean, I feel like it's like you're in this particular phase where you're like planting the seeds and watering the seeds and
Yeah.
tilling the soil, and it is a lot to invest in terms of your energy and your time.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there's all sorts of different models that folks use for creating music. Some people are studio heads.
Hmm.
Just hit the studio, hit the streams, hit the syncs. I don't want to be around people at all. I'm not doing any shows, There are artists
Yeah.
that are like that.
Yeah.
There are artists that don't care about the recording at all. It's all live shows for them. You know what I mean? Like maybe we'll get into the studio, it doesn't even matter, but like our live shows is what really matters. And then there's everything in between. So I think just like finding our balance at different stages of life is important, and really kind of listening to what we need is important. And yes, it feels like that's what's next on the journey.
Mm. I mean, you've always struck me as a really good listener. I think that's definitely one of your superpowers, actually. And I don't just mean to other people. I think that you have like the listening space, like you talked about within your songwriting, within
Mm.
yourself, right? And being attuned to that.
Yeah, and isn't that what an amazing skill, not just to be able to listen to what's going on around us, but to listen to like we need to listen to ourselves, kind of thing. And that's some powerful songs in there. There's some powerful meaning in there. And I think, I have found that the closer that I get to that space, the more the songs shine and the more people resonate. So it's almost like the more internal and deep and personal I can get, the more that actually resonates with people, because it's like, oh wow, I feel that too, you know. Um, so yeah, this Past Lives project is different from my previous music, which is more positive, poppy, uplifting. This is a more introspective, kind of deep, kind of spiritual, kind of personal healing album. Honestly, I did it for me to learn about my family, to bring their voices into my life. And, and my mom and dad have benefited from that. My family benefited from that. And then when people listen to their songs, it's like, wow, I should really ask my mom and dad, like, some about their life and how they grew up and their stories. They're like, oh, that reminds me of that one memory that I had. Um, so yeah, the more that I'm able to kind of go into that internal listening place, I feel like the music benefits and the community benefits, and things get a little bit more sparkly. You know what I mean? They go more full,
Yeah,
more meaningful. So yeah.
absolutely. When you are like kind of I guess in songwriting mode, and obviously, I'm sure this is probably true for you. So, some songs just sort of pop up where it's just sort of like, "Hello, here I am." But
Yeah.
when you're sitting down, like, do you have like any particular routines that you like to do when you're getting into the zone?
Yeah, I'm always taking voice memos, so I like to like kind of go back through voice memos every once in a while and like see if something like kind of hits me or like inspires me, and I'll use that. A song on Past Lives was from a voice memo 2 years ago. And the producer was like, "You got anything else?" I was like, I have nothing for my fifth song. I don't even know what to do. So I went back to my voice memos. I heard this one little thing. I was like, boom, don't tick a boom, don't tick a boom, don't tick a boom, don't tick a. I was like, ooh, that's interesting. And that became the first song on the album, Echo. So I'm always like getting my ideas out and like kind of somewhere. And then when I sit down, I kind of like bring them all out and kind of see what really kind of resonates and go from there. Yeah.
Mm, I love that. By the way, you're getting some love in the chat. Dark Realm GM is saying that you rock, and
Oh, cool.
yes, yes,
Thanks, Dark
yes,
Realm.
yes, that's awesome. And I agree.
Thanks. Y'all rock. No, you're really in this musical space, it's a lot smaller than we think. There's only a
Mhm.
certain amount of artists that make it to year one, and then two, and then four, and then five, and they just keep dropping off. You know what I mean? And it's a very specific type of person and artist and creative that keeps going. So you all have been one of those folks that it's like they're still doing it, they're doing it the right way. I really resonate with their approach and how they're doing it like independently slash dependently. So that's just a testament, to what y'all are doing. So y'all rock too. I really appreciate what you're doing, and I'm always taking notes from you as well.
Oh, I appreciate that. And likewise, I mean, I feel like you radiate inspiration. So I love what you do. I love that you're putting out such beautiful work that's so inspired, and you know, I love the poptimism.
Yeah. Yeah, so do I. It helps me. It helps me too.
Yeah, I think that I mean, it's like you were mentioning, like going introspectively with this upcoming album. It feels a little daring, sometimes where you're just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna switch gears. I'm gonna go really internal, going inside those roots. Like, what is it for you? Was it something that you kind of had to talk yourself into, where you're like, ooh, I see what this is?
That's a really good question because, yeah, it's a really good question. As artists, we're like constantly reinventing ourselves. That's our job, you know? And there was a shift where it's like, I'm not doing this for others to be a certain way necessarily. It's like, I am literally doing this to process my existence, to process the world around me, to
Yeah.
figure out what's going on. Cause I don't know. You don't know. Really, no one really knows what's going on here, y'all. We're just singing about it. So going from, upbeat songs like Chasing Daylight, Dancing on the Lawn, you know, to like these like very introspective, deep kind of like songs about my ancestry and their voices being, like throughout it's a big change. But I remember a few times in the studio being like, if I'm gonna do this, like I'm just going all in. So I told my producer, it's like, dude, I will probably cry at least 10 times during the recording of this album. I think we got up to 8 actually. So it wasn't that bad. But it was like, chimes in the studio, you know what I mean? Like invoking the spirits, bringing in the whole thing, just going in. And I think that's important for as creatives and as artists, and you hope your community will enjoy it, and they probably will. Some won't, some will be like, I like the happier songs, like what if Alice just had like a whole, like I don't know, like Apple brand change, and like your color was white and you wore white suits, and like just it'd be strange, so there is some, being delicate there. So what I do is my songs are voice and acoustic guitar. So in a way to kind of like introduce these songs to my community in a way that they appreciate, it's just I sing them first with my voice and my guitar. And that's how I do my live streams. And that way it doesn't feel so different, you know?
Yeah.
And the production's a little bit different, was very different than the other tracks, but it was a leap of faith. Definitely a leap of faith. But I'm glad I did it.
I love that. I love that absolutely. Yeah, I know. It's like we were sharing earlier, like when you hit the launch button or you're like, okay, here it is, world. Like
Yeah.
you never know, and just the leap of faith is absolutely a profound moment of like terror and also just surrender at the same time.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of trust that is required as a
Yeah.
musician, as a touring musician. A lot of trust, because we're putting ourselves in some very unique situations, situations we don't necessarily know the venue we're going to. We don't know the person, we don't know the people that are gonna be there. Maybe some people will show up, maybe not, but like really, it's like we're trusting in the universe to hold us and to contain us and to provide for us, and we're gonna do the best we can too. But it sure is nice when there's folks out there that believe in what you're doing and want to support.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It really I think it helps like I don't know. I don't even know what the word quite the word is, but it's like it gives you the nurturing, I think. And I feel like no matter what, like you were saying, you have the shows where you play to the sound guy and his dog, you have those.
Yeah.
We've all had those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We all
Like,
have those badges, yes.
yeah, you should feel amazing that that actually happened to you. It's like, yes, I did that and I'm still alive. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. And to any maybe creatives or musicians out there who are listening to this and who, want to tour or are starting to tour, it's like, you know, there are going to be heat domes. There's going to be, like kind of hurricanes, and everything's going to happen and nothing's going to happen at the same time. And that's the beauty of it, like all that, the growth happens at the edge, right? Pushing ourselves to the edge. That's where the growth happens. So yeah, it is absolutely more than worth it every time. Yeah. And I would, at the same time, can I make a caveat?
Please.
And I'm not trying to be a downer. Okay. But if touring's not your thing, don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? Would you
Yeah.
agree? Like don't put
Absolutely.
yourself through it. Don't put the audience through it. Don't put the venue through it. Don't put your family through it. Don't put your friends. If the why is not there and it's not your thing, there are hundreds of ways to make a living as a musician at the same time. But if it is there, then like go for it. Would you agree with that? I don't know. Am I kind of talking out of bounds here? What do you think?
No, no, 100%. Like, I feel like if you are tour curious and you haven't toured, you should absolutely like try it.
Yeah.
And you may discover like this is awesome. Like I
Yeah.
really I want this. Or the opposite where you're like, not so much.
Sleeping in Walmarts and waking up to my own smell every morning. I'm not really sure about that.
Have you ever seen like the memes where it's sort of like, what people think I do, what my parents think I do, what I
Yes.
actually do?
Yes. Oh, it's
Yes.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if we musicians put what was actually going on behind the scenes more on social media, people would be like, it actually might be more interesting. Who knows? But yeah, it's not all glamorous. Actually, most of the time, it's not glamorous at all.
I mean, we've shared our share of like our Walmart videos
Yeah.
because,
Okay.
that's as you do. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's obviously the magical moments where like there's the music and the connections and getting to meet people. Like there are absolutely those beautiful moments. And then there's everything that leads up to like the tour itself. Like I don't know about you, but for me, when I put a tour together, it takes me about 6 months per
Oh yeah.
tour.
Oh
So I
yeah.
have to start 6 months in advance. So, and I'm still like finishing up this last tour. We just lost our show in Vegas. So I'm scrambling to find
Oh
another venue.
no.
It's just par for
Yeah.
the course. That's just normal.
Yeah.
Like
No,
it's at least
normal.
it's not during the tour. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Six
So,
months. 6 months. That's just pretty good. I usually start
yeah.
like a year out.
Wow.
And a
Yeah.
lot of venues, what I'm doing, a lot of the folk singer-songwriter house show venues, they book 2 years out.
Yeah.
It's
That's
wild.
amazing. Wow.
So yeah, 6 months is pretty good. That's yeah, it's a good timeline.
Yeah. Well, that's usually what happens with like if I'm given a certain amount of time, like actually our spring tour, I wasn't given a lot of time because the festival asked us, I think 2 to 3 months before
Oh,
the
wow.
festival. So I had a very short amount of time. That's why actually Scott and I ended up playing acoustic shows as a duo to get us there and back. Because I was like, this is more doable.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, strategy.
Sometimes you gotta just like, you gotta go, wow, I gotta start booking on the fly. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like hit up that venue that you played 5 years ago and be like, hey, we're coming through, would you host us?
Yep. Do
Wow.
you do booking as you're touring since you're having to do so many shows? Like I'm just curious, like are you do actively booking like while you're out?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. For the 250 shows a year, Europe, I started 2 years in advance.
Wow.
And then domestic tours are about a year. Canada is about a year and a half in advance. So there's like not really a time where I'm not booking, except when I'm at a 10-day silent meditation retreat in Massachusetts, and then I'm not booking. But um, yeah, it's pretty much full on, full time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I imagine then you have to kind of like partition your day where you're like, okay, this section of the day gets this kind of attention.
Oh
This
yeah.
section of the day gets the more creative. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I actually also partition seasonally. So like songwriting in fall, recording in winter, big booking push in January, tour spring, summer, fall, and repeat as well. So yeah, I like to kind of chunk things. So it's not like, oh, today I am booking and writing songs and recording and making video and posting on social media. It's like, usually it's like just one or two things, hopefully a day. But I get kind of like I go in and like really kind of do it. So
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine just having to like again, you wear all the hats and it's like you have to figure out a transition from thing to thing,
yeah,
because yeah, it
yeah.
really
For
does
me,
use a lot of the brain.
it's like a lot of just like moving, getting up, walking, kind of running, biking, pickleball, swimming, kayaking, mountain biking, whatever. I don't know. What is it for you? How do you kind of break up your chunks?
Yeah, so especially if I'm like in a creative mode, I'm finishing up a short story actually that's an illustrated short story that's going to be in tandem with our album.
Oh, I saw that.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm like in super editing mode. And so for me, yeah, it's like I'm the same. Like I like to take a walk, just take a little stroll, get out in nature. It kind of helps to reset things because when I'm super left-brained and I'm like in my organizational like tour booking mode, it's like, okay, I have to switch gears to thinking more expansively and doing the story writing and
Yeah.
songwriting and all that. So, yeah,
No, it's
yeah,
like they're like that moment of transition between hats is important. It's like
it is.
you'd be literally like a mad hatter. Hey,
Ah,
it
I
kept
see what you did.
doing that.
Yes,
Shout out to the Mad
yes,
Hatters.
yes, yes. We love them. But yeah, no, I feel like transition is actually like you have to if you're going to be like able to like do all the multitasking, that's required as an indie artist.
Yeah, learning that has been a big thing for the past 7 years. It's like, oh wow, I'm doing business and marketing and songwriting and all this kind of stuff and social media. Wow, okay, let's bring it on. Let's put all the hats on the closet and put them on
Yeah.
when we need to. Yep.
Yeah. I've talked to other artists that there's certain parts that they don't like as much, and so it's a matter of figuring out, I think, like how to look at it as something that is another form of expression, right?
Yeah, another form of creativity, another way of getting the
Hmm.
music out there. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Feel that. Yeah, for me, social media was like that for a while. Like it was actually like really hard for me to keep up with it on tour while driving all the time.
Ooh.
But now I'm like a little bit more stable and like I've got the crowdfunding coming up and I got the release coming up. So I'm like, oh, social media is great because it talks about the release and I can kind of get into it, make connections with folks on the res and Navajo Nation and folks in Europe. And it's like, oh, this is great. But like, man, I was on tour. It was hard for me to just feel motivated to do it. So yeah, it's a lot to juggle.
So are you going to be what's your next like big push? I saw that you're playing very shortly here in August.
Yeah, yeah. I've got some shows coming up locally in August, just around Maryland, Virginia. And then in October, I'm doing like a fall tour around the album. So like in the Northeast. And right now, that's all I've got on the books, which is wild. And I'm just kind of like, like just kind of like settling, just kind of simmering a little bit, just kind of like planning my next moves. Is it gonna be the South? Is it gonna be the Midwest? Is it gonna be none of that? You know what I mean? I'm still kind of listening. I'm listening to the internal and external voices. So we'll see. It'll be surprising for me as well. What's next? Right now it's just all release mode, all hands on deck for the crowdfunding. And after that, we'll see how that goes and then be able to allocate, you know, that support where it's needed.
Mm. Yeah, no, I love that because I feel like it's making you very present, right? To like really go like, okay, well, instead of like really, really thinking forward, because you were
Mhm.
mentioning that it can take 1 to 2 years to plan
Mhm.
ahead, just to just be really present. It
Yeah.
sounds like it's going to be a very powerful release.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. And I think depending on the crowdfunding and how that goes, that'll really be like this huge wave that keeps it kind of going. So that's like the plan. Like have the release, have a nice little push around it. Holidays happen, November, December, come out with a holiday song. That'd be really cool. Come out with a holiday song around past lives to keep the momentum going. And then like really kind of hit it kind of like online in
Hmm.
2026 and then build shows around that. So yeah,
That's
that's the
exciting.
strategy. That's my like my
Yes.
what's next for the family, for the business. So, yeah.
Yes.
You got it out of
Well,
me.
I did. No, I love it. I'm very excited for the release. And yeah, I mean, obviously this is future planning, but what the third part will look and feel
Oh
like.
yeah, that's coming.
Mhm. Yeah.
More story ahead.
Yeah. I love it. Have you started brewing it up or are you just gonna
I have a few songs that are
yeah.
like kind of like probably going to be in that space, which is cool. Nice to just have like a little bit of a inspiration, but it's definitely going to take like a week or 2 weeks at a river retreat somewhere, just kind of writing and getting into it to see what Future Myths is all about. So that'll be cool.
Ooh. I love the concept of future myths. It definitely like conjures the imagination for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to say the word myths. Myth is hard enough to say, but myths is like it's like people don't really know what I'm saying. But it's a really cool word, like concept. Like, what are the stories they're going to be telling about us in the future?
Hmm.
Future myths. It's
Yeah,
gonna be really interesting. So we'll see. I don't know.
I love it. I've always loved like storytelling that dives into sort of the Joseph Campbell like mythology too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Big
yeah.
fan of Joseph Campbell.
Yes. You're getting asked by Dusty. Dusty was noticing about your awards behind you, and he was
Oh, these
asking.
awards? How did you see that? Thanks, Dusty. Whoops, I forgot those are on camera. Oh my.
Oh, do tell, Eli.
So yes, we have the Buddha around some awards here and some books in a singing bowl. This is best pop artist group from the Whammies. It's a Whammy. It's like a Grammy, but it's not. It's the
Wow.
Washington area music folks. This is the Mid Atlantic Song Contest, second overall for Chasing Daylight.
Wow.
You can
Oh
see with
my
my hair
gosh.
behind it. That's
It's
good.
Yay.
There's another one over there for the best country Americana album for the Whammies as well. And this is
Wow.
my meditation partner, Buddha.
Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Dusty.
You're getting applause in the chat.
Okay. Oh, these
Yes.
awards.
That's
Oh.
That's amazing. That's really
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. Like
That's nice.
I know. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's nice when awards happen. I don't write for awards, but it's very nice when they come in. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like I know that you would continue doing what you do, regardless, but it is,
Yes.
yeah.
Actually, if enough people didn't like my music, I probably might not. I might still do music, but I just wouldn't release it or something. You know what I mean?
That's
Um,
fair.
but the more I'm into music, the more I realize like it's going to change throughout my life. You know, whether
Yeah.
I am a touring musician or recording musician or a live show or just a songwriter, like music's going to be there, which is nice. It's just a wonderful thing. It doesn't always have to look a certain way. Right now, it looks incredible. Like on my eighth release, got an amazing community behind me, got these shows, got the songs. It's awesome. But it's also good to know that, I'm like in it, but I'm also like letting go at the same time. Like wherever it takes me, great. And however long I get to do this amazing thing is fantastic. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you
Yeah.
have that same feeling? Like what's your kind of like take on that?
Like you mean in terms of like awards or
It's music being part of your life.
oh, music being part of my life? Well, music has always been a part of my life.
Yeah.
I was in church and 9 months old, and my parents went to a church where there weren't any instruments in the church, so everything was a cappella. So they heard me singing when I was 9 months old. So I don't have a memory in my life without music. Yeah, it's just been who I am like my entire being
Wow.
as far as I can remember.
So
Like
good.
all memory links to
Even
music.
before you can remember, people tell you
Yeah.
about what was going on. Wow, that's awesome. That's so special.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just how I've also that's how I am in the world. Like you sharing that was absolutely something I resonate with. Like, it's just how I connect with people. It's how I know how to be.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So
Amazing.
it's as constant as water and oxygen for me.
Yeah. Mm, love that. As the sunlight is coming through and making all these like cool designs behind me.
I love
Water,
it.
sunlight, music. It's gorgeous.
That's awesome. Do you ever see yourself ever exploring like different styles of music, or do you feel like this is just like the singular focus,
Oh
for
yeah.
you?
I think each of my EPs have been like a slightly different style. So like my first EP, I had the Four Directions project from my time on the Res. The inspiration for that. So All Rose East was kind of like Americana. Way Out West was like indie folk. Deep South was like kind of like pop rock, and True North is more like singer-songwriter. So yeah, I feel like each of my EPs have a little flavor of like different things. But this is going a little bit far in the future. But After the Three Worlds project is going to be my Two Friends project,
Hmm.
which is going to be all collaborative songs.
Ooh.
So what I'd like to do is go on a international tour, finding artists in different countries and continents and record with them and come up with an album. So I have a feeling that a lot of different styles will kind of come out through that album too. So that's something I look forward to.
Ooh, I got chills. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I plan ahead.
Yes. I love it. Well, you kind of have to. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, there's a bike, when it comes to like being present, but there is the overarching vision that I think helps guide us.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's been very helpful. So just having that kind of like through line, I think is going to be cool. So yeah, I'm excited to explore different sounds. What would you say is your sound that you're exploring on As Above, So Below?
I think it's coming back to our roots.
Okay.
A lot of coming back to our roots, like because foundationally the band has created music that well, we started writing these music in 2020 as a
Okay.
band. We came up with like a bunch of stuff that we just jammed out in like 5 days in Joshua Tree.
Wow.
That's like our foundational spot that we like to go out to the desert and
Okay.
then just unplug and just make music.
Cool.
Um, yeah. So yeah, and then as the 5 years have passed, we kept on coming up with other songs that were like, I feel like this could fit more in the thread and the overarching vision that we're, feeling, especially as we've been touring and experiencing more life. So like we're finishing off actually a couple more songs for the album. I'm recording tonight, in fact,
Oh wow, are you
singing on it.
serious?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. After this, I'll be singing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, like just kind of coming back to the roots. I mentioned that I grew up in a church where it was all a cappella, and it's just a lot of like harmonies. So everything there was it's very harmony rich.
Mm,
And I've always thought in harmonies. Like I come from a choral background, so I love choir. I love operas, so I feel like we're kind of bringing in those elements into the
nice.
album. So yeah,
Wow, that's exciting.
yeah.
So it's like back to the roots, big on harmonies, connected to Joshua Tree, like the
Hmm.
roots, and then it's like
Yeah,
it's had a long time to kind of develop, which
yeah.
is pretty cool.
And
Wow.
as above, so below is also an album that explores like just humanity and the life process because we've lost people in this time frame. So the album has helped us like process our grief, celebrate them, remember them. So there's like themes of tree of life and the
Mm,
breaking of chains and finding liberation and freedom. So
wow.
yeah,
Deep
yeah,
stuff. I love
deep
it.
stuff.
Y'all
Yeah.
go deep.
It's it's a little different than the poptimism, but
Yeah, no, it's great. We all got our things. We all got our own things. It's great.
yeah, but we find our joy through the creation of it. So
It's
I think in
beautiful.
all sides of it.
So
Yeah.
excited for the project. I am a Kickstarter backer and I look forward to the updates and the music and all that kind of and all the good stuff. So
Really appreciate it, Eli. Oh, we have another question if
yes,
you're
tell me.
okay with. Okay.
Yes, bring it.
What does your daily routine look like when you are in the morning on tour, and how do you get so much done?
It's a really good question. I am a Planet Fitness membership holder, the black card. It's $25 a month plus a $50 yearly fee. You're welcome, Planet Fitness. And it's amazing. So for $1 a day, I hit the treadmill. I can do weights if I want. I can do the 30-minute circuit. I get a shower. I fill up my water bottles. I get on the massage chair. And when I'm really rocking on tour, I do that every morning.
Mhm.
Then I have a morning vision magnet. And Tosh and Scott are part of that vision magnet where I put all of like the top positive things that people have said about the music and the encouragement. And I read those every morning. I have like 20 different abundance, quotes that I have like my goals, my strategy for the week and month. It's pretty intense, y'all. It's pretty intense. I have a journal that I do. It's called the 3 question journal. If you're going to start anywhere, start here. And every day is just something that I deeply appreciate, something that's most important that I have to do that day. And then what quality do you want to show the world that day? Pretty cool. So
Mm,
I prioritize. There's always going to be a million things to do, and there's no way to do them all every day. So every day I just pick one top thing that I have to do that day, and I do it. And if there's time to do the second or the third thing, great. But I'm just going to do that one thing every day. So that is my morning routine, and that is how I do so many things. I just stay healthy and drink a lot of water. And I don't know about all these musicians who are just like, down whiskey and cigarettes and cigars and all sorts of whatever, and staying up late. I'm a indie folk singer-songwriter, and that is not how my tours roll. I would be done. I would not be able to perform the next day. So staying healthy, staying grounded, staying mindful, and picking one thing that I have to do every day and committing to that has gotten me to this space.
mm, that's inspiring.
That's it. Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
have a morning routine?
I do. I
You do.
do.
Let's bring it.
I
Bring it
do.
on. Bring on the routine. Let me hear it.
Well, I like to like spend the first moments like just connecting to my breath. It's very meditative, because it's like there's a transition when you first wake up. You're supposedly still in theta, I think, for the
Okay,
first 20 or 30 minutes.
that makes sense.
So I try to avoid my phone. I'm not perfect with that. I'm not one of those people that I'm just like, and then I don't lift my phone for the first 2 hours. I am so human. But I try.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like to journal and meditate and pray.
Mm.
I really like to keep gratitude. So I always like wake up thinking about things I'm grateful for, things I'm looking forward to in the day, and then I do that in the evening as well, like where I just think like, where did my day go? And sometimes it's not great. Sometimes a day is a disaster.
Yeah.
And I write it down. I'm just like, and I write it down, but there's always something where I'm like, okay, here's the silver lining of the day. And it keeps me going.
Yeah.
So yeah,
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 gratitude's huge, right?
yeah, it helps a lot. And
Mhm.
also I like if I'm really in flow, I like to do like kind of like a piano session like first thing where I just like play and it's stream of consciousness playing with
Whoa.
no intention of holding on to it.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
way that I know how to play piano, and I think it's my favorite way. It's just making sounds. It's amazing.
Yeah. Just kind of let it flow out of you and then
Yeah.
you just have that moment. Yeah. So,
Cool. Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds like something that I could add. I like that. Just like a stream of conscious, almost like musical journaling,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Just letting get it out kind of thing. Super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, and then I like to do some form of workout, so I kind of vary it up. So, but something to get me embodied.
Yeah. Do you do
Yeah.
that on tour? Do you work out on
Oh
tour?
yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, super
Just
important.
different things. There's things I do like while I'm in town, but then like on tour, like I bring my yoga mat and then I have my own thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
amazing.
How about you? What do you do on
Yeah,
tour?
I got the yoga mat. I got Planet Fitness. I do disc golf. I do Vipassana meditation if I can. Get some runs in there. Yeah, whatever I can. And I'm not perfect at it, but I do my best. So yeah.
Yoshi Fan 1994 says Eli and his music is beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Yoshi fan. I'm a fan of
Yeah.
you.
Oh, I'm seeing some people in the chat sharing about the morning routine. Dusty was saying, I'm terrible about activity. I run to the bathroom and that's about it.
Hey, that's the morning
I have,
one. Let's do it.
you know what? Everyone has their thing.
That's good. I love that.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Like I feel like everybody has to find the thing that works for them, you
Yeah.
know? So yeah, it's again, we're all in our own human experience, and so I don't think there's any one perfect way to go about
Right.
your experience.
Yeah, it's okay to be imperfect. I'm also giving myself permission to do that a little bit lately, and it's nice. Feels good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because sometimes I feel like so the intention I think when you do these different morning routines is to kind of keep you grounded, to find your center, all the things. But then it kind of like it does the reverse if you're like if I don't do my morning routine,
Yes. That's what I'm
right?
letting go of lately. We're just like,
Yeah.
I don't do it, fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna
Yeah.
try and do it. If I don't do it, I'm not gonna like get so down on myself that I'm like have a bad day. I just made myself have a bad day. I don't want that. So, yeah, no, that's huge. I get that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, my dear friends, are there any more questions? If so, please drop them in the chat. Eli, what are the best ways to connect with you? Like, what are your preferred ways that people can connect with you and experience you?
Yeah. So y'all got the Mad Hatters.
Yes.
I love it. My people are called the Levitators.
Nice.
The
Nice. I love
Levitators.
that.
Eli
I love that.
Lev Levitators. So you can join the levitation if you'd like. Go to my website and there's a little button on there that says join the Levitators. And then you will be able to stay in touch with me through these past lives journey, which is pretty cool. So if past lives sounded really interesting to you, I would say join the Levitators, connect with the mailing list, the text if you'd like. I'm also pretty active on social media now. So if people want to see what I'm doing behind the scenes, inspiration, positivity, gratitude, songwriting, touring, all that good stuff, you can find me at Eli Lev Music on all the things because you've got to be on all the things these days.
It's true. It's true. There are so many things. There are so many ways to communicate. And I love it because each one has its own different vibe, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say whichever people like, some people really like mailing lists. I love mailing lists. So join the Levitators. If you're a social media person, you can find me there. And if you just really like listening to music a lot, I'm on all the streaming platforms as well. So you can find me there. So I'd love to connect with folks wherever. If they do, jump on anywhere, just send me a message, be like, hey, Eli, I saw you on, Unwritten Rules of the Road with Tash, and I love this or that. And then we can start the conversation. I'm a real person, a real live human being, and I like connecting with other human beings. So if you'd like to connect, I'm totally open. That'd be great.
Dusty is asking, what is your favorite hot sauce?
Ooh, okay, 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 Dusty. All right. It's not really a hot sauce, but it is a sauce that's slightly spicy. It's Linzano. It's the Costa Rican kind of sauce that they put on everything. It's sweet, it's salty, it's spicy, it's soy sauce, it's everything. So I like putting that on a lot of things, Dusty.
That stuff is so good.
Linzano. Yeah, it's
Yeah. Yum. Yes. Awesome. Oh, and Dusty says you are loved. I love that.
I love a good, but that was
Yes.
funny. Pretty funny. It's pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Eli, thank you so much for taking the time and for just bringing so much joy and it's always wonderful to connect with you. And
Yeah.
thank you to our wonderful community for hanging out with us, for your awesome comments and questions. Yes, many, many, many loves. Yeah.
And
And
big
oh,
big
sorry, go ahead.
virtual high five. Let's go crowdfunding. Let's do it. Ready? Virtual
Yes,
high five.
yes. Woo!
Boom! Let's go. Let's do it.
Yes, and I am so looking forward to your launch. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. So, looking forward to the album.
Yeah, I'll be following y'all every step of the way. Looking forward to your album too. Let's do it. Let's go.
Awesome. Yes. Yay. Well, thank you again and sending so much love.
Thanks, Tosh. Really appreciate it. Same back. Lots
Yeah.
of love, light, and levitation.